Hi, working on the Model A project here. What I'm doing is I'm going to put 40 Ford juice brakes on the Model A with the stock rear end and the spring above the axle. The 40 Ford backing plates are very familiar, very simple. Fixed points here with a little adjustment in and out to set the brake shoes against the drum, and then adjusting screws here to tip it out, and it brings the shoe out and so on. It's all manual adjustment. And of course the wheel cylinder is located up high on the backing plate. This particular backing plate is for the driver's side, and you have the parking brake coming out here to the front. Okay, the long shoe is located in the front. Okay, shorter shoe in the back, and also the master cylinder is used a larger size to the front, smaller size to the back, and then this guy just goes in here like this. You bolt it on, and then when you put the thing together, put the spring on, you're pretty much set up. Okay, and then when it comes time to plumbing and then bleeding the brakes, your brake line comes in here low, and here's your vent for bleeding. And so as the brake fluid comes into the wheel cylinder, it'll fill from the bottom up, and air will vent from the top. And when all the air is out, of course, then you'll close it up and you'll be bled. That's simplified, of course, but anyway. Now, with a Model A, this plumbing for the wheel cylinder interferes with the spring perch on the differential housing side, and interferes with the spring perch and the spring and shackles and so on. It's not very convenient. So I've seen a lot of cases where people will put these on, at a little bit of an angle like this, 15 degrees angle or something like that. What I plan to do here is I'm going to take and I'm going to invert the wheel like such, and have the wheel cylinder at the bottom where there's no interference with anything, and it makes a really nice clean routing over to the center of the car and up the wishbone. However, when you do that, and it's okay. So now what happens is also when you turn this, when you invert the backing plate, all of a sudden now it fits on the other side of the car. Okay, so here now, this is the passenger side now with the parking brake going towards the front. Okay, we have the long shoe is towards the front. Now when you put the wheel cylinder in, and you need to have the wheel cylinder pointed so that the large size is toward the front still. And when you do that, what happens is that the brake line now comes in at the top, and when you're trying to bleed this, you've got fluid. The fluid's going to go to the bottom and try to go up and fill its way up, which is not going to allow the air to go to this vent very well. And so what I plan to do now is to invert that, like yay. Okay, and because of there's an asymmetry with the hole, the way this thing bolts on, so that'll have to be located up a little higher like this. Also, when you do that, you have to switch wheel cylinders back so that you've got the large side to the front, and this is going to go on like this, right? And it needs to go up higher, but then you have the large side of the wheel cylinder and the large brake shoe coincident with each other. That's right. And so the approach here is going to be to take a slice cut, a moon-shaped cut out of the hole here in the center where the wheel cylinder body fits in there, and then take this same piece and put it down low here, and so that'll end up, since I've got all the holes, that's not a problem. It'll just move this thing up, and when that moves up, it'll be in the correct position. You'll have no problem with clearance for the brake line, and the bleeding will work well. Everything's pointing in the right direction, and you can still implement a parking brake. So that's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and get to work on this. and I'll check back in. Okay, I'm back. So we've gone ahead and went ahead and cut a wedge out of the top, or crescent rather, out of the top. Smooth this out, put it in the bottom, and welded it in here. See, so it's all ground off and finished up, ready for some primer. And then here's the wheel cylinder. You see the wheel cylinder goes in here. Line her up with the bolts, and bolt her in. She's good to go. Be ready to go.